Team. So it's my Saturday, and on Saturdays I catch up on any of the movements that I haven't done for the week already. So this week I'm going to make a workout based off those movements. And how I usually do that is I use my movement method, and that just chips away at the things that I have or I haven't done. On Monday it was squat day, so I don't need to do that. So we'll cross off the squats. Hinges we did yesterday. I did deadlifts and RDLs. Horizontal push, we did do a heavy barbell bench as well early in the week. Horizontal pull, haven't done any type of row this week, so that's definitely going to come over. Vertical push, we did a shoulder press yesterday as a dumbbell shoulder press. Vertical pull, did I do any vertical pull? There was like a plate lat overs, but no, definitely have to do that one as well. Can't miss my pull-ups. Lunges and kneeling, haven't done a lunge type activity. Balance, that bad boy doesn't get touched at the gym I'm going to. Step ups, also not touched there, or jumping in plyos. The gym I'm going to at the moment is just straight up strength classes, so it targets your three main powerlifting movements, which is a squat, deadlift and bench, and then the accessories either with them. So like bench would have like chest and tricep focus. There's always abs, but then sometimes it's opposite. So it might be deadlift and then it was like upper body. So it doesn't matter, it's easy. It's getting me out of bed at 5 a.m. and then I'm here on the weekends trying to catch up with the accessories that I missed. Did we do any carries? Yes, we did a carry. And then core is broken into 3 different movements. So we've got our normal flexion extension. Yes, I did that. Did we do side bends? We did side planks. And did we do rotation? Yeah, we did round the world plate grabs there. So I don't even have to do core today. What a treat. And then conditioning, not on my strength cards at the moment, and I don't play a sport. So I'm out there walking the streets, which is great. Okay, so now we've got our 4, 5. And that's really convenient because when I do my strength exercises, I only do want 4 main movements, which I can do 2 or 3 sets of 10 at for the day. And how we then structure it is we break it into 3. So first of all, we do our warm up, and that's an opportunity to do a general warm up and get the blood flowing, or it's an opportunity to catch up on any rehab that we might have to do or any asymmetries that we're trying to fix. Then we go into the strength piece, which for me today is A, B, C, D. I nearly did a B again. And then this is the one where you can do E and F if you wanted to catch up on any smaller movements that weren't your strength focus, or this could be your conditioning piece. And then I will still do my cool down because I really enjoy my desensitizer at the end of the session. So now we just fill in the gaps. Super easy. It's the best thing about templates. So with the warm-ups, at the moment, I'm still focusing on my balance because my balance and rotation's pretty crappy. So I'm gonna do my balance there. And to fill that bad boy in, I'm actually gonna try airplanes today. Next, in the warm-up, I need to still focus on my single leg calf hopping activities because my left is just a sad time. So single leg hop, and I'm gonna do plate jumps for that one. So nice and easy, fun to turn the brain on to get started. And then I like to always do my banded passovers and my banded shoulder warm-up. Banded shoulder warm-up. Perfect. So I've got an upper body and I do have some lower body focuses in there. If when I'm doing this, I'm not feeling totally warm, then you can add your general stuff in, like your squats and your hinges or your push-ups if that's how you like to warm up. It's your warm-up, you've got to suit it to what your body needs for that day, and every day will probably be different. Now we go through A, B, C, and D, which is our strength piece. And at the top of my template, I always have, just as a reminder, 3x10. So you know what you're going to be doing for the day, and it can be anywhere from 2 sets to 3 sets. Okay, so then I just pick the one that is most important or that I did least of. So I'm choosing between the vertical pull or the lunge kneel. So I'm going to do the lunge kneel because I enjoy doing legs first. They're the bigger muscle group. That's where I get my testosterone moving through my body, so I encourage more muscle growth. So I'm going to do Bulgarian split squats because it's been way too long. My partner actually was raving about how he did them the other day and he's still got a sore butt 3 days later, and I was like, ooh, I do need that. So Bulgarian split squats, and I'm going to do that one with a dumbbell, and yeah, that's it. I want to superset that one today because I do really want to make sure that my legs get a good beating. After this week, I just have a feeling that I really want to do that. And I'm gonna superset that with a side lunge. And depending on how it feels, it might turn into a Cossack squat. We'll see which one's feeling nicer. Do I want more glute burn or do I want more groin burn? So then we move on, and with the next one, we're going to go back to vertical pull. That's another big movement. It's got our huge lats in there, using full body to help with our pull-ups. And I do love them, so I want to be nice and fresh for those as well. So pull-ups. Then we have to fill in the gap. So we've done the balance, we've done the lunge, we've done the pull. Now we've got a horizontal pull and a step-up jump or plyo. Okay, so I reckon we're gonna do it's a tough one. I think I might do the cable row because I did the isolateral row last week. So the cable row, but I might do that with a single arm with the pulley, so I can add a little bit more rotation in today. And then I'm gonna finish on my step ups. You know what I said at the start? I'm actually going to do one con, which is my skipping. And I'm going to cap it at 5 minutes because it's the first time I've skipped in probably a year again. How does the time fly? I don't know. But skipping for 5 minutes, and I'll turn it into an EMOM or something when the time comes. And most of the time you will still do your core movements and not have your accessories. Otherwise you'd be like, that's A1 and that's A2. But for me with this one, it's not trying to go heavy superset. It's do the superset and then take the muscle to fatigue right at the end. It's kind of in the same set. So that's why I've written it like that. And then this bad boy doesn't happen. Okay, so that's how I structure a workout based on what I need. Now, I don't have to do this every week or every day because currently I am training a different style, or here, if I was here, I'd be doing a 6-week block of pre-assigned training. But for Saturdays, when I enjoy teaching you guys what I'm training and how I train and how I think about training, it's really fun to have to make a program again, which is cool. Bulgarians first up. Bulgarians are just like a harder lunge. What you do, the easiest way to set yourself up, and if you're a YouTube fan and you're a Bulgarian fan, you'd already know this, but practically pop your bum on the seat, reach one of your legs as far forward as you can go on its heel, and then you stand up onto that heel, and that tells you where your front foot is gonna go for your body height. And then you simply have to put the other foot back. And yeah, you can sit it up nice and high, but I feel like it limits how deep you can go. So if you keep it on the toe, you'll be able to get a bit deeper. Now there's different types of Bulgarian positions to target what you want out of the Bulgarian. But for me, when I'm trying to get more glute going rather than my lovely big quad that does a lot of stuff, I tend to lean forward as I go down and sit into the back leg. And that means I'm targeting more glute stretch, and there's a bit of quad stretch coming on, and my knee is actually behind my toe. Most people with their Bulgarians, or when they don't really know, they're just gonna go straight down, knee over toe there, and they end up getting more of that sort of quad length as they lean forward. So I always do 5 or 6 warm-up reps on each side to get started, dropping as low as I can into that one. And then the easiest position to get down into is the one that you can feel your glute stretch, you can feel your quad stretch, and it's not hurting any joint. And then you drive through your tripod, your big toe, your little toe, and your heel on that front foot to come back up. And sinking and driving. Sometimes if you're a bit off balance, either use a supportive dowel stick or broomstick, or don't go as deep. And then instead of having to reset each time, just switch the feet in the front. That might sound obvious to some, but but I see a lot of people every day and that's not their natural instinct. So sitting back, getting that foot to hang over. And the only thing to remember is if you do have a weight when you're doing the Bulgarian, this is actually on the back leg going down, so the dumbbell follows the back leg. And that way, it's out of the way. You don't have to think about it. Whereas with the double, you do have to kind of think about it when you're going down a little bit. But if it was in that hand, you're like hitting your knee and shit. So keep it on the back leg. Oh, I'm still breathless. These guys hit my soul. And never go back to back with your sets. Always have a rest. Otherwise the second leg is tired before it even gets a real go. So make sure that you have at least a 30 to 60 second rest between your legs. Set one down. Now we have to superset our Cossacks nice and wide. So with Cossacks, you're going down to the side and the goal is you're actually stretching through the groin on the opposite leg. If you can't get very far and that's your stretch, that's where you're stopping. As soon as you lift that toe off on this side, you actually can get lower. You may lose this stretch and then suddenly you're loading up the other leg. So it depends on what you're doing your Cossack for. If I was doing it for that sort of lateral lunge vibe, I'm trying to push off this leg, then lift the toe. But at the moment, I actually feel like I want a nice groin stretch. And I'm pushing through that foot, sure, but I'm focusing on that groin lengthening under load. And I know I have a lot more mobility than average, so I don't expect you to get this low. I'm not saying that to make you feel bad. It's just I have been blessed with very flexible joints. And you're either one or the other. You're very flexy, or you're very stiff. But either way, you shouldn't have pain and you should train within the ranges that you have, and your training should reflect what your body needs. Resting 60 seconds. If you want to feel good for the day by doing something hard, start your workout with those. All right, with pull-ups, I always warm up my active hang first. Active hang is simply hanging on the bar and picking your shoulder blades up and then dropping them back down. A dead hang is just where you hang and you work on your grip, sure, but your whole body is just lengthening. So that's just for a shoulder blade warm up. Then I want to warm up my whole body in the pull up as well. So I do my active, but I keep my hollow position, which is rib to hip locking down, pointing toes. Obviously I can't do it on both feet. And then you're doing your active and you're holding in a nice hollow position to get the whole body coordinated. Oh, my triceps are tweet. Can you feel the big pull down the side here? That's your tricep. And you've probably done either tricep extensions, lots of push-ups or bench, and that's probably got it going. If you're feeling more tightness down here, that one's your lat, and that can come up into the deep shoulder as well. And that's when you've been doing like a lot of sitting at a desk, a lot of pull downs, that'll get your lats all jacked up. So if you are feeling any of these muscles, it's just because you've gone and put your whole body weight on stretch and they're like, I can't handle that right now. Or they start to warm up, which is great, but if they start to hurt, lessen the load. And that means chuck a band on or go back to the assisted pull-up or even jump to lat pull-downs for the day. They're all the same movement pattern. You just have to adjust it based on how you're feeling for the day. I'm doing 5 and 5 or 5, 3 and 2. We'll see how we go. It's the 3 and 2 option. I always drop because it's not worth me getting my traps all jacked up, having neck pain for the next 2 days. But I also hate crap technique. So don't do it. All right. Set 1. Even now, still feeling my traps kicking in. So I just want to either break up my next set so I don't use my traps as much, which you're in elevation, you're going to, but if they're just not used to it, or they're taking too much load, or this week they're just being too tired, you're gonna use them anyway, if you're a necky girly or guy. So we just need to make sure that we trigger ball those, or stretch them through like a farmer's carry at the end of the session today. It has been a little while since I've done like, not full pull-ups because I scatter them all the time, but like proper sets of them or even making them heavy. So you've got to take that into account so that you recover really well. Look at them, they just want to go up here. Like, protect me, use me. No. I'm gonna do 3, 3, 2, 2. Yes. Now look, if you want to do a straight set, jump on the assisted pull. I could have, but I didn't want to. So we're doing broken sets. That's a bit of a dodgy one. That's better. I'm slowing it down. I can feel my mid traps coming on a little bit better now, which is nice. Still gonna have to trigger ball though, because once they're firing, they're firing. But yes, if you do struggle with upper trap issues, mid traps, so not the top ones, but the middle ones, so your rowing muscles, and your lower traps, so things like lat pullbacks, they're really good to get those guys working and aware in your brain. Because if you can get them aware in your brain, you're gonna use them more, even if you are in an overhead position. It's just if it's too heavy, your body will go back to exactly what it's used to doing, which is probably using your upper traps. That's only a few people, it's not always, it's not everybody. You can change your technique all you like, but if you're too heavy, you're not gonna be able to do it. But if you're not too heavy, you got bands on, using assisted pull, blah, 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 then you can change what you're doing. And what I would strongly recommend is this is still your main focus on coming down, but then you gotta like pull yourself down and back a little bit as well, like you're doing a row, because then that is what pulls you up to the bar. If you're in that middle ground of not quite strong enough to just pull up for days like these calisthenic guys are, and you get a bit of neck pain. But if you're like super strong, this probably doesn't even apply to you. So active, pull back, and you just try and maintain that position as you come up onto the bar. Oh, done. Now let's go and get the middle traps. Wow. And we get absolutely best spot for morning sunrise here at the gym. Oh, I love it. Depends on the season to what you see and when. In winter, gosh, it's dark. So you get the sunrise around 7 in Hobart. But now, ooh, it's 6:13. Look at that color. All right, so exercise number 3 is our cable row. If you've done this one before, you know that generically these guys have the little V plate, and that just keeps your hands in nice and close and in a narrow grip. Narrow grip tends to use both sides of the forearm, a little bit more of brachioradialis, and then a bit less of bicep than if you had your palms under or your palms over. So just neutral grip, it's easier to get the rest of the back firing. Now, if there's a different handle on the machine, wide one, yes, your hands are still in a neutral position, but you have to pull wider naturally with your elbows and sometimes a bit higher as well. And that means that we'll get a bit more posterior shoulder going, sometimes a bit more upper traps as well. And like I said, I'm going to do my first set with the double, but then the goal was to do single arm today. So we'll see if we can get to that one. That way I can just focus on which side's pulling stronger. It's always good to chuck in a few single arm things every so often. It's easy to do single leg, but chuck in some single arm so that you can really feel if they're doing the same thing, if they're feeling just as strong. You're pulling more with your hand here or more with the shoulder here. So it's good to notice those things and self-correct when you are doing a double arm. Lucky last, if you're new to training, these little bad boys are 2.5 kilos, and they're nice because lots of the plates on the stacks, especially with hammer strength, do jump by about 7.5 kilos per plate. So that's a big jump when you are beginning and you want to incrementally go up weight. So a 2.5 is a nice little jump, and there's 2 of these or 3 of these getting around. And so to get to 7, you'd have 1 incremental, 2 incremental, you're only 5 kilos up. And then instead of putting a third on, you jump to the next. All right, like I said on the pull-ups, the main thing we're looking for here, shoulder blades come back, like we talked about last week, elbows come back, chest comes up. So cues in my head are shoulders, elbows, chest, and that'll make sure we're using that middle and lower trap rather than pulling directly up and or coming back, thinking you're at the end and you're like, yeah! That's not good. It can really cause anterior shoulder pain, which then if you go and do bench, you really fatigued that shoulder. Legs, you just want them out of the way. So I would sit there, but I don't know if I put the camera there, so you can keep them here, but as long as they're not touching the handles. And like we talked about last session, if you're doing a single arm, you're not likely going to do exactly 50% what you do with a double arm. So I did 42. I'm not even going to go to 20. I'm probably going to start with 12. Still go shoulder, still go elbow, and this time to get my chest up, I'm going to really squeeze, and that one should get right in that lower trap, which is such an easy way to start feeling the right muscle. My hand naturally turns, so I let it do its thing because that's when the muscles are in their best working position, because gosh, I'm feeling that lower trap today. That's amazing. It's probably pre-fatigued from those pull-ups, which is exactly what I'm after today to finish the week. Dude, it's gonna cramp. Oh, just says how much I use my upper traps, hey? Because the cramping muscle is when it's reaching the point of failure. Usually when it's reaching the point of failure, that it's just like, stop. So obviously you've taken your muscle to fatigue. So if it's cramping, try to have a bigger break before you do next set. I do play with that back position if it's not working. So my left, it's a bit different to my right. There it is, I got it on second rep. The left just wants to keep snaking up. Two more. Oh, it's moving up. Oh, my back is so fatigued this week. Why? One more little sunrise. Oh, it is the best. Plan for today, I'm gonna put a 5-minute timer on, and we're gonna do an EMOM. So every minute on the minute, I'm gonna do jumping. So minute 1, I'm going to try to jump for 30 seconds and just accumulate as many jumps as I can, have a rest for 30 for the remainder of the minute, and then do it again 4 more times.